I didn't ask for this. Have a sequel.
Dude, it's called Halls. Use one.
The gameplay is great though. As always, let's start off with the pros.
Why don't we save the best for last?
No. Now I must say that this game is graphically amazing. The hair specifically is done very, very well.
These lunatics are armed. They'll shoot anyone who tries. What are they going to do to her?
It's okay, Mr. Stanek, stay here. I'll take care of it.
The evidence is inside.
Why give it to me? Why not keep it, present it at your interrogation?
Because if my suspicions are correct, and I am seen leaving here with you, willingly, I may not survive to present my evidence.
And this atmosphere and just the look of all these places, like Interpol's headquarters, the city of Prague, the outskirts city of Prague, Gollum, and the red light district, they all have this look and feel that's just all their own, and it really just immerses yourself into this gameplay experience.
I wasn't attacked by the train station. I wasn't there.
Je to tady jak na skládce.
Yeah, well, Ybor almost certainly is. I took some kind of...
All you ever talk about is Rabia.
You need something?
They said that about this.
And I must say, Jensen's jacket is as awesome as ever.
We all know that's what you really care about.
Shut up, DROS.
Hey, I'm a citizen. I have rights. You cannot detain me without charging me. This I know.
And I know you're gonna sit there quietly and wait with us like a good little watchmaker.
I've got this, Agent Riley. You and your partner can relax for a few minutes.
Now, if there's any one main reason to play this game, it is the gameplay itself.
Isn't that the point of every game?
Shut up, DROS. The guys over at Square Enix and Eidos Montreal kept their promise. The gameplay in this game, at least compared to Human Revolutions, is way, way better. It is not blasphemy. It is a lot less stiff. The gunplay is better. It's easier to sneak around with like the given augments that were added into this game, which, by the way, none of which feel out of place or useless. And all of the original augments from the last game are in this game as well. But anyway, getting back into the gameplay, the side missions are awesome as well. There are always like some different ways to complete each one, and they even offer some deep moral choices in some of them.
Which we all know Reaver chooses the bad option.
No, there really is no bad or good. It's more gray and what you think is right or better in a sense.
So right and wrong.
No, it's gray. Morally gray. And in the main missions, depending on the way that you play, either, yeah, I guess this goes for the side missions as well. If you're like all out violent and you're destroying everybody's men, like, you know that mission they showed us with Talos Rucker, or all sneaking, people will react differently. And the world sort of changes a teensy bit depending on what it is you do. And I thought that was a great addition because you didn't really see anything like that in the last game. You could have completely gone through and murdered everyone in a mission, or just snuck right through and you'd get the same response no matter what. And I thought that, you know, adding that in this game, I thought that was pretty cool. But as I said, the gameplay is awesome, and it was a huge step forward compared to Human Revolutions.
Things are definitely getting better. What are you talking?
Check it out.
Anomaly access granted.
So slightly getting back into the non-violent gameplay experience. You may not have known this, but now the bosses can be taken out non-violently.
The one-hit punch.
Yeah, it's kind of pathetic in its own sense. You stun them and then press B and then it's over. But at least if you're looking for a non-violent experience, I mean, you can totally do that in this game, which I think was a nice little addition compared to the last one as well. Also, the conversation system, thank goodness. Because in the last game, it showed all of, like, if they were like alpha, omega, beta, in like different levels. You know what I'm talking about? It was odd. And trying to guesstimate it while watching that, while trying to pay attention to the conversations, which were in a lot of instances really, really cool, it was hard, and it kind of took away from the whole experience. Well, now it's just a little bleep.
I like that system.
Well, it is, and it's in this game. It's a bit better now. So it's now like a little bleep, and there's always one that's usually doing better than all the rest. It's easier to make a nice decision on what you should say in that conversation while you're talking to people, and it's easier to pay attention to them. Because like the little light shooting out from like the bleep mark is a lot easier to sort of like see in like the corner of your eye than it would have been when, you know, you were playing Deus Ex Human Revolutions. Sorry, I know I rambled into that a little bit, but I just really enjoyed it, and I liked that it didn't kind of take away, kind of like the last system did. Oh, I always did like it though.
You're gonna forget everything you know about Prahadovos for now. It's the only way you get to protect your ideals.
Right, because concealing information is obviously the best way to keep people informed. You really think I'm that stupid? There's this word you might want to look up. It's called transparency. It means people have the right to know, no matter what the cost.
Fair enough, but there's a difference between speculation and fact. Right now I'm betting you don't have anything tangible to go on. You don't know who I am, what my role is, or what's really going on. Wait until the facts are out before you go spewing misinformation everywhere. Before you get people killed.
Okay, maybe I don't have all the facts yet, I'll give you that.
Whatever the cost, is that it? You want to be better than Picus, right? So what does Picus do? They frighten people. They sensationalize the news, they misdirect. If you want to resist them, you need to strive to be objective. You need to deal in truths. And the truth is, putting Prahadovos under the spotlight right now is dangerous to me and useless to the public. Wait until it's time.
Okay, I get it. I don't want to compromise no one's investigative journalism. Sometimes you move too fast and the real story flies off before you even had a chance to see it. That's not what we do here. So you go break open whatever it is you're breaking open, and we'll lay off Prahadovos. For now.
And to finish off with the pros, sadly, modding your weapons is done way, way better than the last game. And, you know, on a side tangent, you can actually create separate things like biocells and, you know, like resources within the game with crafting parts, which I thought was a cool addition. But going back to modding, you can now just press and hold down X, and it brings up a view of your gun. And you can like add suppressors, change different type of bullets, and this can help you in so many situations. Say like you're fighting a sentry bot, maybe you don't want to destroy it and alert everybody, but you can take out the pistol, you can switch it to EMP rounds, and you can quickly take it out for just a few seconds and sneak by. And I found it in multiple situations, especially armor piercing when you're coming up with the bigger sentry bots. To be very, very helpful. And it's better than like opening up the menu button, pausing everything, just moving everything around to make sure that like, you know, a specific mod goes here. It simplifies things down and it's a lot better. Thank you, Square Enix. Now, sadly, we must go into the cons.
Yay!
You played Deus Ex first. Now this was a glaring problem that I had, or that kept popping up, at least in my head, throughout the entirety of my gameplay experience. And that was while in conversations, the way the characters react or moved was extremely weird. They'd always just like move their upper torso, arms, and neck, and it's just like they're, you know, hey Jensen,
By God, Jensen, I heard about the explosion. We should relocate. I was thinking we could corner Director Miller together. Tell him it's not safe enough here.
We're fine, Chang.
The police station, the train station, we're next. I can feel it. I can more than feel it. I can see it happening.
No one knows where we are. There's no reason to get paranoid.
That's where you're wrong. They're trying to pull the lid off of us, Jensen, or someone is. Praha Dovos just got hacked.
Got a calibrator for me or what?
This procedure. There won't be any surprises like last time.
Last time I was surprised by your crazy tech. But now is totally different. Now I know what's under that hood of yours. And you got me the tool I need. Changes everything.
So what are you gonna do exactly?
I'm gonna optimize your system. No more worrying about overheating. No more worrying about glitches. Jensen 2.0. Sounds pretty good, right?
It just looked weird and I wish it was done a bit better. They just hadn't really moved at all. It probably would have looked better as well.
You move weird.
You move weird. Okay. Another problem that I had as I was playing through this game, and for crying out loud, you remind me of Skyrim in this sense, the loading times take way too long! I don't want to be sitting there for like nearly 2 minutes waiting for my game to load. Especially if you're having a bit of a problem on one particular part. I don't want to be waiting constantly for like 2 minutes at a time trying to play the darn game. How did this get through development? Why? This is next gen. Why does it take 2 minutes for my game to freaking load when I'm indoors and there are like 2 other enemies with me? Why?
There's so much content it takes forever to load.
You know, I wonder at times if you're just a negative Nancy are here to just potentially screw me. Now to quickly delve back into the world of bosses in this game. The bosses in this game, they're just kind of there and a bit more pathetic. Now, I know the bosses in the last game were a lot like bullet sponges, but at least the 3 that were there were varied and you had to use like sort of like different tactics in order to kill them and, you know, just take them off. And I enjoyed that, and it was kind of cool to like get these like near misses and then find different ways in the environment to take them out. But in this game, they all are really similar and it's just way too easy to take them out. As I said, specifically with that non-violent takeout, you know, it's just stun, B, over. I just wish there was a little bit more time, you know, put into like the actual boss battles because it just seems way too easy to take them out or get rid of them. And let's not even mention Marchenko's kill switch at the end of the game. That was like the dumbest decision you could have made. He was the final boss, Square Enix. Why? There's only one main hub city in this game, which compared to Deus Ex Human Revolutions, you might notice that that's less than what it had. I sort of wish there was more because it was awesome to travel around the world in this game, in the last game. But in this one, it's really, you know, in and around Prague, and then like a slight jaunt at the end over to London. It's just, it's not as varied. Oh, and yeah, there's Dubai in the beginning, but I just sort of wish that, you know, there was more locations you could have gone to because, I don't know, it just, when I go to talk about the story, it'll make a bit more sense. Which, funnily enough, is next.
Location, location, location.
Yes, DROS, thank you. If we need to call a State Farm agent, we know who it is. And now, for the main bad of Deus Ex. Its story. Now, playing Human Revolution so much before this game out just to tie me over for this game's release because I was so freaking excited. And then to go in and play this game's story, it was like a slap to the face. Not only is it shockingly short, but compared to Human Revolutions, it is just stupidly straightforward. And Victor Marchenko, like the main bad of this game, all but just, when you first meet him, all but yells out that he's the main bad guy.
Should have tried cutting the blue wire.
If only life was that simple. You are lost, brother? It looks like you might have taken the wrong turn.
You must be the welcoming committee.
No. I am Marchenko. And Marchenko, he is more of a guardian. Like the hound at the gates of hell, yes.
I'm not real big on the classics.
That is a pity. What a man reads can tell you more about him than his face. Can I give you a little friendly advice?
Sure.
Go back. Go home. There is nothing for someone like you here.
How do you figure that? You don't know me.
I know this place up ahead. We call it the Throat. And sometimes those get cut, yes? When outsiders come wandering in where they should not. Is that you? Because it takes a lot to step out of line and answer back. And once you do, there is no return. Not everyone has the courage to take up the fight.
You make it sound like you're in a war.
It is a war. On us. On every augmented human. You see that, don't you? There is a moment coming, and it will be soon, when all of us will have to choose a side. Anyone who does not will just be in the way. And that could get them killed.
I mean, think back to Human Revolutions. All those awesome twists and turns, finding out that Jensen's ex was still alive, that Hugh Darrow had planted all of these like mind-altering and crazy chips into the people that caused them that augmented problem. Nothing quite so awesome happens in this game. Now, don't get me wrong. The start of the game is awesome. That whole mission in Dubai and everything up to Talos Rucker was really cool. But it just sort of drops off after that. I wish that they had taken more time on the story than they might have had on, like, you know, the Jensen stories or Breach or some of these other extra things that I just wish that the gameplay... It's just a huge letdown for this game that the story wasn't as good or better as it should have been from Human Revolutions. It had such a strong foundation, and you know, for a good half of the game, it was great. But it was short, the main enemies are ridiculous, it's not the payoff that it should have been. Alright? And they obviously did this to get ready for a sequel. Dang it! And that whole surprise ending during the credits, which, a bit of a spoiler if you haven't played through the whole game yet, the therapist that's been working at Interpol being part of the Illuminati group just sort of came out of nowhere. It seemed to just, they're pulling this out of his hat just to sort of like, kind of like act a bit like Human Revolutions. This wasn't the story I was hoping for, and the whole double agent thing just sounded awesome at the beginning. Ugh. It set it for a sequel, and it sucks. It does not deserve to do that. I'm sorry. Anyway, now to go into the final rating. Now, I wanted so badly to give this game an 8 out of 10, but with just that shockingly terrible story and some of the other things that just make no sense in Deus Ex, and the fact that probably should have mentioned this, you don't get to see a lot of the people from the last game or figure out like how they would have interpreted them into this story. Anyway, the final verdict for Deus Ex Mankind Divided is a 7 out of 10. Don't get me wrong, this game was awesome and fun to play, and I'm sure as heck going to be playing it plenty more times before any of the other games come out. But it's just that story. It's holding it back. And it's short. They just obviously left it off for a sequel, and I just hate it when games do that. Anyway, thank you, Onions, for watching, and have a good day.